Hi everyone! So in today's video we are going to be doing a review on the remade Rimmel London Stay Matte Foundation. Now when I mean we, I simply mean that my best friend Bom Bom is on my bed there and she's happily participating in this review with me. So yes, let's hurry and get started. So the packaging is very cheap, don't really like it, I think it's quite tacky. It just kind of makes you feel like, yeah, just sort of like, oh yeah. But yeah, so the shades, I believe they had about 5 shades, I really do think, because this is the lightest shade, which is 100 Ivory, which I was a little bit disappointed because I thought that they should have had a porcelain for fairer skin like myself. I'm not that bad at the moment because it's still like kind of sunny, but yeah, usually I go like white when it's winter. But anyway, let's not go on about that. So let's talk about the foundations. This is basically a matte foundation, so if you don't know what matte is, it's just going to keep you matte all day. It's going to control the oils. So this is a shine control foundation and it's a moussey texture, so it's kind of like the Maybelline Matte Mousse, but this is a lot thinner than the Maybelline Matte Mousse. And yeah, so basically if I just read the description on the back, it's a feather light liquid mousse foundation, blends flawlessly for a natural looking all day shine control. Silky smooth formula leaves a perfectly matte baby soft finish, lightweight texture, won't feel heavy or greasy. Now it says it's lightweight. I wouldn't agree with that. I would say it just feels like it's there. It doesn't feel heavy, but it feels like it's there. It's not greasy at all, so it is completely right there. It does feel quite smooth on the skin, you know, when you apply it. It does feel very smooth because it is a mousse, so they tend to feel a lot smoother, just like the Maybelline Matte Mousse. This does actually last quite a long time. It was actually pretty long lasting. I was quite impressed by that. Now, if I just talk about skin types, I'm going to just say my skin type first. So I am combination skin, so I am oily, but then I am dry and flaky skin. So I have dry and flaky skin and oily. So yes, I'm combination. That makes me then repeating myself over and again like I do in every single video. But yes, so I'm going to recommend this. If you have really oily skin, I would recommend this. Because I have oily skin, I could tell that this was actually staying on. It did last on my skin. As soon as I put it on, I did look matte, and I was like, whoa. Even though I still, setted it just with powder, it wasn't very matte. And, even if you don't like powder, I would actually say that you don't really need to set it, really. So if you don't really like powder, you don't really have to set it if you use this, which was quite impressed. And then the next thing was, the only thing that I didn't particularly like about it was, if you have dry flaky skin, anything matte is not really your best friend. And because I have really oily skin, I do try anything that says it's matte. I do still go and give it a go. It wasn't really my best friend because it did make my flakes noticeable. Now literally really noticeable. If I was wearing this right now, you would be able to tell that I was wearing it because you would see the flakes. So if you have oily skin, highly recommend it. It's long lasting, it keeps you matte, you won't even need to set it. Obviously I would still recommend you to set it, but it's not always necessary, to set it with a powder. Very good. But if you have on the dry side, I would kind of say in the middle. I would recommend it, but then I'd kind of be like, I mean, it is a matter of if you're really dry, don't. But if you're kind of on a little bit on the dry side, I'd say just exfoliate before you use this and use a very rich moisturiser, and you should be okay there. But if you have dry, flaky skin, like really flaky like myself, don't use this because it's just going to make the flakes stand out like it did for me. I mean, I had to take it off. I did do a demo, I did show me applying it, which I will insert very soon, but I had to just take it off and I had to reapply my face makeup because it just made my flakes so noticeable. And I exfoliated and used a rich moisturiser before I did this, but it just made them like, whoa mama. So I had to take off my foundation, and I have the Maybelline satin liquid one on right now, and my skin was not flaky at all as soon as I put on that one. As soon as I put on this, very flaky. But let's just talk about the actual foundation. I mean, I didn't get along with it well, but if you have oily skin, like I said, I would recommend it. But yeah, it does feel nice when you apply it onto the skin, and this is just a good kind of pointers about it. I mean, when I applied this, you literally do not need much of it. I was very impressed by that because I just did one little squirt and it covered the whole of my face and my neck, and I was so impressed there. I really wouldn't put on a second layer though of this because I can imagine it getting really cakey. So that's all I really can say. I purchased this at SuperDrug and this is under £10. I believe I purchased this for £5.99. It's probably like a half price, not half price, but like a cheaper deal, like probably, I can imagine this may be £8. I will have the proper price of this down below. So yeah, just from the drugstore. So yes, that is my little review there. And now I'm going to just insert a clip of the demo of me applying this. So please keep on watching if you would like to see the demo.